Hi there, it's Paul, and I am at a top secret location somewhere along the Point Reyes shoreline. And behind me, you can see some keyholes or some holes that are actually bored through the sandstone. And I have one question for you today that could probably increase, number one, the communication that you have with your current partner, or that would help you with communicating and having a fabulous relationship with a new partner. The question is this: how many of these keyholes do you still have in your space that you imprinted as a child from watching how your parents communicated, how they showed intimacy, and how they treated each other, and the roles that they adapted? And in a lot of cases, I'm going to probably bet you right off the bat go, well, I made some very conscious choices and decisions to not be like my parents. I know I did in certain ways. The thing is, unless you are actively putting your attention on how they actually were intimate in terms of touch or kissing or whatever, or how they communicated, and you can go in there and pull that or release that out of your space so that you're not showing up either to your current spouse or to a new partner with the past, so you're actually basically asking them to swim through that keyhole that's not even yours. But when we are young, we don't have the filters to actually know what is our truth and what is not. That doesn't come until much later in our teens. So on an unconscious level, this is, those keyholes are watching how they communicated, watching how you witnessed a relationship with either one parent or both parents is going to have an impact on what it is that you're actually bringing into your current relationship. So when you can remove those and put your attention on it, or even just put your attention on it so you're aware of it and say, hey, ask your partner, I'm really trying to be very conscious of not doing this and showing you intimacy or whatever. They may be able to help show you where it is that you're not seeing that. And if you can't, so there's a couple options. You could ask your partner to help you, which would be great. You're bridging that gap, building more of an emotional bond, more of a partner bond. Or you could sit there and drop inside, use the quick meditation that I have, and then once you have your backside or the base of your spine grounded and the center head grounded, you can actually just look for the pictures of how your folks interacted, or how it is that you may be interacting now in a relationship that is not actually doing you any good. It may be something that you actually pulled in from another relationship that you had in your teens, and then there was trauma or something happened, and then as a result you're carrying this wound somewhere around in your space, and it gets triggered instantly the minute that they say or do A, B, or C. And we all know, or we all can send usually our partners fairly quickly because we know where their triggers are. So if you know where your partner's triggers are, how about helping them get rid of them? Because that way you can actually have a heck of a lot better relationship. So here's to releasing the past triggers, releasing the trauma. So the key thing to do, once you identify what that is, then look for where it is in your space, and then just release it down your grounding cord. Look for a color. You may not get an image, and that's totally okay, but look for that color, that vibration, that energetic, and then you can ground it, drain off the emotion, drain off that color that shows up, or just ground it off as a whole, so that you can actually, and then you're going to want to replace it with something in the present that actually is going to represent that how you want to communicate with your partner, or what you want to replace it with. So always replace it with something from yourself, obviously, and don't just leave it. But you can ask your partner to help you as you're doing that, because the longer you've been doing it, the bigger the channels that in your neurotransmitters have actually been boring these holes through your space. So you may need a little bit of time actually working through that The beautiful thing is, once you can release anything that is not, especially not helping in a communicative standpoint or in a way that doesn't allow you to show intimacy towards your partner, it's huge. It's freedom, because that's what you both are really wanting. And when you go back to that initial vibration of how you develop, where you came together as a couple, it was out of pure love. So you're wanting to imbue more of that. You're wanting to take more of that in and share more of that with your partner and build on that, instead of building on past pain pictures, building on past programming that you learned when you were a child growing up that still affects or maybe hinders the way that you express yourself to your partner. So there's another quick video you can watch that will talk a little bit about the secrets of emotions that you can use to kind of, again, another way to build a bond with your partner is to work on that with them also. And so at any rate, here's to your success in your relationship, or in creating a new relationship, and doing it not necessarily with the past carried forward, but in the present, releasing the past and releasing that which is not you, so that more you can show up in your relationship, which is going to make your partner really happy. So have a great day.